Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be going over Yda, who's going to be getting a rework, her FR and BT weapons, and Lunafreya, who's going to be getting her rework and her FR Echo. Now we're going to take a look at the changes that these two characters are going to be getting, and I'm going to let you guys know whether or not you should pull for either of the two in the upcoming banner. So, do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be if you're going to be pulling for Yda and or Lunafreya. Feel free to let me know. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. A big thank you, as always, to all of my current YouTube members. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. If you ever thought about becoming a member of the channel, you can either click the first link in the description of this video or the join button below for details on what perks you can gain for becoming a supporter of the channel. And a big thank you ahead of time if you do decide to become one. So we'll first start off with Lunafreya's rework. So her skill 2, Frigid Fubuki, now increases her own brave by 500% of own initial brave, deals a magic HP attack with 50% splash, recovers 50% brave based on that attack, allows for 120% gained max brave overflow, then deals 5 HP attacks with 50% splash after each HP attack that recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks. Her EX now increases party brave by 500% of own initial brave, deals an AoE magic HP attack, recovers 50% brave based on that attack, allows for 120% gained max brave overflow, then deals an AoE full HP attack 6 times that inflicts the ice water resist down debuff to all targets for 6 turns. Now her LD, when used, characters to her left and herself are now granted the heavy prayer buff for 5 turns. Afterwards, it deals a magic HP attack that recovers 50% brave based on that attack, allows for 150% gained max brave overflow, then deals an AoE split HP attack 6 times that allows for 200% stolen max brave overflow, recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks, and allows for 150% gained max brave overflow. Now her heavy prayer buff adds a 50% HP damage up and 10% HP damage cap up. Now her updated FR conditions are as follows: a 40% increase whenever a teammate uses a water ability, a 40% increase whenever a teammate uses an ice ability, and a 20% increase whenever a teammate grants a buff to an ally. Now Yda's rework to her skill 1, Snap Punch, now deals 8 HP attacks. The Plus version deals 12 HP attacks that grants 1 level to her overhead. Her skill 2, Touch of Death, now deals 9 HP attacks that allows for 180% stolen max brave overflow that recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks. Her EX now deals 7 HP attacks that recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks. The Plus version deals 8 HP attacks. Her LD now deals an AoE full HP attack 12 times. Her Heal with My Partner buff adds a 20% HP damage cap up. Now with Sabin as her partner, Yda's FR deals an AoE split HP attack 5 times. While active, and when you're attacking a broken target or you break the target, the party gains a 50% HP damage up / HP damage cap up. Now her FR conditions are as follows: a 40% increase whenever a teammate uses a melee ability, and a 40% increase whenever a teammate breaks or attacks a broken target. Now Yda's BT effect lasts for 10 turns and grants the following: the party gains a 50% brave damage up, 50% brave damage cap up, 30% HP damage up, and a 30% HP damage cap up. Now for Yda, whenever she moves, she increases her stacks by 1 with a max stacks of 3 and gains the following. Now these percentages are going to be whenever she is maxed out on her BTFX stacks at 3 out of 3. So she gains to herself a 90% brave damage up, 150% brave damage cap up, 150% HP damage up, and 150% HP damage cap up. So now let's talk about whether or not you should pull for Yda in the upcoming banners. Now, Yda is an optional high HP damage cap DPS unit. Literally, Yda, if I am not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I do believe that she has the highest self HP damage cap up, being at 180%. Now, that does not include any ultimate weapon. The only thing that includes is anything that is granted to herself and her high armor maxed out. So at 180% right there and then, before you start adding in anything else when it comes to ultimate weapons, when it comes to force time effects, when it comes to other characters providing HP cap increases, I mean, Yda, with the rework that she is going to be getting, with the amount of HP attacks that she gains, she is going to be hitting for some very, very high numbers. Now, Yda, of course, like, Yda is a straight DPS unit, but she does have some other things that I want to briefly go over. Whenever you are using her HP attack plus, if you do break the target, you actually gain yourself a free turn, which is, Yda is infamous for the whole Yda setup, which is having a SYP with his BT effect active, and then Yda is basically just doing her thing by breaking the enemy, gaining that free turn, doing whatever she's going to be doing, and then going back and forth over and over and over and over. But nowadays, you're more than likely not going to be using Yda for that, and you are probably, actually no, you are for sure going to be using her abilities and taking advantage of the very high HP cap up that she has to herself. The other thing is that she does inflict some debuffs, so she inflicts a poison debuff, which is a brave poison by 80% of own initial brave, and she also inflicts a sap and HP poison debuff, which is an HP poison by 100% of holder's attack, and a brave sap by 10% of the inflictor's max brave. Now, overall, within Yda's kit in herself, she definitely has a very good amount of attack up and max brave up, which is going to help her out with her high damage output. Now, her FR conditions, they are slightly restrictive because it is only going to be melee based units for the first one, and the other one, which anybody will be able to meet, is that as so long as the enemy is getting broken or you are attacking a broken target, then you'll be good to go in meeting those two conditions. And while you are attacking a broken target and or breaking a target, the party does gain a 50% HP cap up increases, which is a nice bonus to her FR. Now, her BT is definitely a must if you are going to take advantage of the potential high damage output that Yda is able to dish out. So you definitely want to make sure that you get her BT effect, because if you do not, then really all you're going to be taking advantage of is just the damage rework that she is going to be getting, and that's about it. Now, speaking of her damage, yes, she does have a very high self HP cap up. But the thing is, though, she is going to need a very good amount of support, which, you know, most players nowadays, whenever you are pairing up your DPS unit, you're going to have a very good support character, especially those who are able to provide high brave gains. Then those are going to be the characters that are going to work extremely well with Yda. So long as Yda is able to basically have a good amount or just very high brave gains in between her HP attacks, then her numbers are going to be very, very high. A lot of the support units that we have had as of late should work just fine. One character that actually does come to mind would actually be Ursula and a few other units, like which we'll get into in just a second. But Ursula would actually be a really good pairing with Yda, because of the fact that, one, Ursula's abilities is melee based. Two, her BT effect makes it so that you are always going to be at your max Brave, which is going to be very helpful for Yda with the amount of HP attacks that she has, or that she is going to be getting with her rework. Now, Ursula is not the only character that would actually work very well. Obviously, we do have 2 other units that is able to easily make anybody look good as hell, which is going to be Quina and or Setzer. So either of those 2 characters would actually work very well with Yda and helping her and capping at the highest amount of damage possible. So that's something to look into whenever you are going to be building around Yda, because you want to make sure that Yda is going to be dishing out the highest amount of damage output that she can. You want to take advantage of that high HP cap ups that she has within her kit. So, is Yda worth pulling for? Yda is definitely worth pulling for. The only reason why you would not pull for Yda is if you are comfortable enough with the current DPS units that you have at the moment. Let's say, for example, if you have been going crazy with Astos and you don't really see yourself using Yda, then I would say just continue using Astos, because Astos currently on global, he is still the #1 DPS. But for Yda, I do feel like she is definitely in top 5, hell, even in top 3 right now on the global rankings, at least my own personal global ranking. So yeah, so if you already feel comfortable enough with your current DPS units, I would say you can probably hold off on Yda. But if you want to mess around with another DPS unit that has a very high HP cap ups and overall the damage output is very, very high, Yda is definitely a fantastic choice to really consider pulling for. Again, definitely not a must pull. She is definitely like worth chasing for, at least based off of my experiences, but like she's not a must pull, but definitely a very good optional DPS to consider picking up. Now for Lunafreya, Lunafreya is going to be getting her FR Echo and a rework. Now I'm not going to be talking too much about Lunafreya because I'm going to safely assume that a lot of players are pretty familiar with her kit, so I'm not going to be going over too much about her, but this is mostly going to be for any newer players or any players who have no idea about what Lunafreya is able to offer, because Lunafreya is able to do a lot of things for the party, not just with the support and everything that she does. So Lunafreya is a great support utility unit that offers a lot to team comp. So what I mean by that, I'm talking about with the buffs that she is able to grant whenever her levels on, or level stacks, whatever you want to go by it, on her overhead reaches max, and her Brave command and her HP command are going to be changing to 2 different commands. The first one, which is the Heavy Prayer command, that is the one that I talked about earlier, which now offers an HP cap up increase to characters to her left. Now, to anybody to her right, they are basically going to be gaining additional turns while said buff is active, which I believe is called the Quick Prayer buff. So she has a lot to offer, just depending on 1, where you place her on the team, and then 2, how you are going to be using her. Now, she does provide Party Ice Enchant and True Water Enchant while her FR is active. Now, the buffs that she provides offer a lot for team setups, which I just talked about. Her FR is more usable now. Previously, when it comes to the first 2 conditions, which is to use a water ability or basically just be enchanted with water and ice, they used to be at 20%, now they increase it to 40%. So on average, if you're not going to be meeting the 3rd condition, then you will at least be gaining an 80% increase. So her FR is definitely more usable, possibly being used as a main force time. Now, if you are on a budget, for those who may not have pulled for Lunafreya in the past or have missed the opportunity to do so, I would recommend going up to LD, or if anything, just going up to FR for the FR Echo, or if you want to use her FR as the main force time. Going up to LD is definitely the biggest priority for any newer players or any players who are on a budget and are wanting to take advantage of what she offers with the buffs that she is able to grant, especially using her as a call ability. It is also a nice convenience because it'll help out for those BT units who have a short BT effect. So having her LD ability or LD call ability would be very convenient for those units. But just in general though, like if you are on a budget, going up to LD is your safest bet, and it is more than likely what you are probably going to hear other veterans mention if you are on a budget. If you go up to FR, cool, again, FR Echo, everything else that you're going to benefit out of it, you're going to get the true water enchant as well, and again, you can potentially use it as the main force time. So Lunafreya, again, on a budget, go up to LD. If you want to chase for everything that she offers with her BT is able to extend granted buffs by 1 turn. So those buffs, the heavy prayer buff and the quick prayer buff, do get extended by 1 turn. So that's something to maybe consider as well if you see yourself using Lunafreya a very good amount. But she is still very much a viable support utility unit that again offers a very good amount to team comps. But other than that though, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.